Hello world, good day and good game. Today we take a look at little details that we found out in the last weeks. Okay, maybe not all of it, there's so much complex stuff, like there are drop locations that are nowhere mentioned in the game. The damage description of Ines is very confusing. We talked about Raven and her abilities, but also found out that the reactor farming in 400% is kind of nerfed. And so on and so forth, there were so many things. For now, let's focus on Ines. After days of finding out how she works, I have to say, dear Nexon, dear Magnum, that is the worst description ever. What the hell is even that? We have some magic damage multiplier, and we have some random number between some obscure minimum and maximum. 800 MP is called maximum, but actually it's not. So what? Sorry, there's so much information here that just does not help. This should have been an all about Ines video, but damn, this little part was already so much effort. So we dig deep into that and what you need to know about it. And if you hear someone saying Ines damage is bugged, then send them this video here. Dark Current is not bugged at all. The description is just stupid confusing. We all know Dark Current's a passive of Ines, and what damage does it do? How nice they gave us a formula which is not only incomplete, but also confusing. If you know quick math a little bit, then you instantly see that maximum MP divided by 12% must be wrong here. What actually happens is maximum MP divided by 1200. So who did this description? Also, I need to calm down because most of the description is correct. It says damage is equal to maximum MP multiplied by a magic damage multiplier multiplied by something between a minimum and a maximum damage rate. And this formula is correct. Only the damage multiplier is a mystery. Most people say it would be 46% or 0.46 for the maximum MP, but there's more, much more. First of all, that 46% is different for some Transcendent modules. Also, this part does not care about the maximum MP of 800. It can go higher. And the last line is funny. What they actually meant to say is that your damage gets multiplied by some random number between your minimum damage rate and 100%. Alright, what's your minimum damage rate? They say the minimum damage rate is the MP divided by 12% here. What they actually mean is your MP divided by 1200. Then they say the minimum damage rate cannot go higher than 50%. Which means that your MP divided by 1200 cannot go higher than 50% or 0.5 in numbers. So in the end, 600 MP or more is needed to reach the good damage rolls. For example, when you would have 360 MP, then you can get unlucky low damage rolls starting at 30%. With 480 MP, your damage roll starts at 40%, which is more damage but still bad. Anything higher than 600 MP puts you in the sweet spot where your damage roll starts at 50%. Yes, the damage you do can be random, and if you are unlucky, it's only 50% then. So over 600 MP is a must-have, or you just do the snare over and over again. The snare is very interesting. On the top is the damage formula again, max MP times damage rate times random number. Again, you see that 480 MP would mean your damage can go down to 40% randomly. But when you shoot your snare hunter, then you get the short circuit buff. Here, this is a buff that you always want to see while playing Ines. This short circuit that you get after shooting the snare hunter. When short circuit is active, then your low 480 MP no longer goes down to 40%. It releases the full damage. But wait, there's more. You think 800 is the limit? No, it's not. That magic damage rate, which is 46% of your MP, does not care about the limit. For example, when you are at the limit of 800 MP, then the magic number is 368. If you have more than 800 MP, then the magic multiplier also gets bigger. Ain't that easy? Did that make sense? Do you see how to pump up your damage now with more MP? Yes? Good. Then let me confuse you again. Let's go back to those 46% here, that magic damage rate. It is different for some Transcendent modules. When we are using Plasma Ball, then it's 68%. When we are using Plasma Condensation, then it goes up to 184%. Remember that this thing has no limit, so that opens up some crazy damage multiplier here. Alright, enough confusion. Before you go, remember this. 600 MP is a must-have to enter the high damage club. Below 800 MP, your damage grows fast. Above 800 MP, it slowly gets bigger. Use Snare Hunter as often as possible to keep up the buff. That disables the random damage numbers. And one more thing. Yes. Yes, it does. We found that out last week during the stream. If you're interested in going deep into the game mechanics, then make sure to join us on Twitch. Every day we find stupid stuff deep in the game. Like this here. Dark Current ignores the enemy's critical resistance. Watch those explosions here, there are over 50 explosions that are all critical damage.